Aloha and welcome back to the Kupuna Connections television program. I'm Cullen Hayashida and I am the co-host for this program brought to you by Kapi'olani Community College, Kupuna's Education Center. Today we have a very useful topic, I think, for many of our boomers out there as well as for our older adults that are still very active, and it's about senior clubs. Senior clubs as a way to stay active with others for fun and wellness. Before we get started, however, let me ask my co-hosts and my guests to introduce themselves.
My name is Tony Hathaway, and I'm the Education Coordinator at the Kapi'olani Community College Kupuna Education Center.
I'm Stephen Santiago. I am a Recreation Specialist with the City and County of Honolulu Senior Citizens Program.
Okay, thank you, Stephen, for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so this is a great chance to let the community know about all the good works that the city and county is doing as far as parks and recreations for our older adults. And it all has to do basically with, staying active, thriving basically, and then remaining engaged in the communities,
Yes.
right? That's what it's all about. So let's see, perhaps we can ask Tony to get started with some of the questions that we
Sure.
have here.
So what are the senior clubs that are operated by the City and County of Honolulu?
A senior club is an organization put on by the city. We charter most of our recreation centers to have a recreation director become the advisor to a group of seniors who want to get together for social interests as well as for interests going out to restaurants, interest in reading new things, meeting new people. We provide education at the clubs as well as just a chance of a lot of socialization.
So there's really a lot of variety.
Yes, the clubs take the direction of the seniors. The advisor is there strictly as an advisor. The seniors will decide whether they want to have guest speakers come in, whether they'd like to have exercise programs brought in, or whether they want to do arts and crafts. And of course, the seniors will also decide if it's time to go to a local restaurant, whether it's time to have a celebration, Grandparents' Day, or anything like that. So the seniors take command of the club, and we provide the guidance to be sure they have the rooms, the facilities, and of course, everything is conducted safely.
I see, I
Great.
see. Now, we're talking Parks and Recreation, and we're talking about senior clubs here, which, Parks and Recreation has been very well known for. And then on the other hand, we've got the senior centers around the state, Lanakila Senior Center, Mo'ili'ili Senior Center, Kapahulu, and so on.
Correct.
Now, how are they different?
A senior center, like the Makua'ali'i Senior Center or the Kaneohe Senior Center, which is the one that the city runs, we are a building, and we offer classes, programs, and other opportunities for seniors to come together. The clubs are located within the center because we have the facilities, the auditoriums that they can use, as well as the staffing. So a lot of seniors join to join our clubs, and then they start taking the different classes that are available. So a senior center is really the building where they can be engaged in various activities, whereas the club is the actual social media that they come in to join.
I see, okay. So at some of these various locations, these centers, so to speak, you may have several clubs going on, possibly.
Yes, correct. At the Makua'ali'i Center, we actually have 5 clubs, and they come in on different days. They have that special notoriety because they have the senior specialists working at that center. And many of the other clubs, well, such as Kaneohe, there are 2 or 3 attached to them, but they're located at different facilities. Now, the other senior centers on the islands that you know about, Waikiki Community Center, Mo'ili'ili Community Center, Kapahulu Senior Center, they're not run by the City and County of Honolulu. They strictly run classes and activities. But only the City and County, we offer the clubs.
Well, so if I'm a senior, what's the value of going to a senior club? Why should I join?
Oh, the club gives you a chance to get out. It's like if you were to stay at home and follow a exercise routine by a video all by yourself, after 10 minutes you start to cheat. However, with the club, you're there every day. You're not engaging it by yourself. You've got 30, 40 other people who have a like attitude of yourself, and suddenly you find yourself with an extended family. You have people there you're going to go to meet, you're going to go and talk to. You can't wait to go there, and you'll stay for the duration. Because not only you're not by yourself, but you're now getting the stimulation from other people, which is the real value of being with a club.
Right.
The secondary value is with the club, you can now focus on your activities, such as if you would like to take Zumba classes, your club can arrange things like that. Let's say you've never been to a certain restaurant on the island. The club can help you finally get there. And it'll help you also bring in the guest speakers to talk about senior wellness, senior insurance, long-term care. The clubs are bringing those speakers in to talk to you. Whereas if you tried to do it on your own, you'd be running all over the island.
Yeah.
So the value of being with the club is we can bring the resources to you, and you can ask which resources you'd like to have.
And I guess develop these friendships that can also support you in some of the issues that you have in everyday life too, I guess.
Oh, yes. We get the seniors come in and we'll walk into conversations about them discussing grandchildren. They're discussing their health issues. We once walked in and we found a lady meeting another person they hadn't met in 30 years. They had grown up together, worked for a while, then they split apart, and now they're coming together at a club.
Yeah.
A good example is my mom. My mom surprised me one day when she read a newspaper article about what I was doing, and she told me, hey, that lady you're with, she went to 8th grade with me.
Ah,
And so I got the two of them to come and sit down, and they had a great time. So
Yeah.
the club opens new windows, but it also reopens some of your old doors.
Oh,
And
great.
that's more important for the seniors to not get stagnant in what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that one of the concerns that we have with older adults is, you know, after they finish work, and work oftentimes is more than just the money, you know, it's the friendships and, the, you know, the status that you have as an employee, you know, with
Yes.
your fellow employees. And you stay at home, you know, people become bored, they become depressed, they become very lonely. And maybe they're in their pajamas all day long and don't even dress up, you know.
That
And
is
so
correct.
they can sort of, it can be a, you know, a downward spiral in many respects, but going out to a club can be a very good thing.
A lot of times we get the children call us to get their parent into a club. And the reason is exactly what you said. It forces mom or dad to get dressed in the morning, go out to a club, find a new place of belonging. And once they find the one-day class they can go to, they start to now realize there's 3, 4 other activities they can participate in. And suddenly, mom who had been home, thinking she didn't have another place to be, is now teaching a crochet class. Or she may be the one leading a cooking class. Or if it's dad, he may be the one doing small appliance repair. So suddenly a new value is put into their life and they can start all over again. And the trend we've noticed is a lot of our seniors or our kupuna who retire, they start to go down, except those that get involved.
Yeah.
The ones that get involved, immediately we start to notice differences in them. We've actually had city and county employees who retire. We see them get involved in their hobbies and their clubs, and we see them look younger. And it's incredible.
Yeah.
Of course, they're all now saying, I'm busier now than I was before.
yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic.
So that's sort of going back to the value of joining the club.
Yeah.
that we were
That's
talking
why
about,
you get to the clubs. It's
Yeah.
it's not just to be a member of a club, but to be a part of a new organization.
Yeah, yeah.
To explore new things and
Yeah.
also.
Better than medicine, huh?
Well, medicine only goes so far.
Only so far, only so far. Now, you brought some photos, you know, with you today, and I thought maybe this might be a good chance to explore some of the kinds of activities that
Sure.
these clubs get involved with. Maybe
We can go take a look
see
at some of them,
Some of
absolutely.
these. Can you explain what we're looking at here?
Okay, what you're seeing now is an annual event. This is Memorial Day.
Okay.
All the clubs on the island are encouraged to participate in the lei making for Memorial Day. The leis will be taken up to Punch Bowl Cemetery. These particular ladies are members of the Kapi'olani Club. I see members of some of our other clubs, and just some ladies who actually just dropped in to help us out that day.
All right.
And they would make, believe it or not, over 3,000 leis. There's 80 women actually in that room, and some men, and probably a few celebrities scattered through the crowd.
Wow. So this is a nice way of giving back to the community.
This is an absolute great way, and the thing that people don't realize is Hawaii has such a connection to Punch Bowl.
Yes.
And if you walk through that room and you ask someone, do you know someone who's buried at Punch Bowl? You're going to find out a cousin, a brother, maybe a husband
Wow.
is currently at Punch Bowl, and that's why they feel the need to make these leis.
Let's see the next photo there.
This is the previous to the other photo. These ladies are actually picking the flowers that will be taken there. The flowers that we use there comes out of our botanical gardens and from the public. Makua Center primarily relies on these flowers these ladies will pick and that is our botanical garden section. And they'll be out there from 9 o'clock to almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon picking all these blooms.
Wow.
And they'll come out with 27 of those boxes filled with flowers.
I see. Wow. How about the next photo?
This is a trip where a lot of people on our island will never get to go. These ladies actually took that boat over to Coconut Island, the famous Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Well, it's a research center used by the University of Hawaii. And this club, this is the Paradise Seniors, I believe, actually took this boat and they go across to the island. And it's an adventure to start with by riding on an old World War II transport boat. And the ladies get on the boat, they take them out to the island, and then they're given a tour of the island and the various research facilities. So this is part of the club. It's something that only as if you were to do this on your own, I think they have a small little boat, 1 or 2 people can go on at a time.
Wow.
But this one they went with their friends. And of
Okay.
course, at the end of this, they headed to Windward Mall and had a great lunch.
How about the next one here?
Okay, part of our club activities and all of our thing with Parks and Recreation is to get you physically active. This is a Tai Chi workshop. They're out there learning how to work out, and these are mostly instructors. On the other side of them, you're going to see a lot of these seniors. We get a lot of Tai Chi groups come in to do displays. A lot of Tai Chi groups come in to teach the seniors various workout techniques. Tai Chi is very popular. Doctors recommend it. It's slow motion, not an impact activity. And if I'm looking at this correctly, this is actually at our Mayor's Craft Fair from this past weekend.
Oh, I see. Okay. Exercise, huh?
Yes.
Here's the next one.
One part of our activities with our clubs is we do special activities throughout the year. This particular picture is at Kailua, where they did a beach or the swimming pool activity. It's the summer breakout. And all these ladies are in the pond, in the pool, having a great time. We do it once a year. It's in Kailua, and they get to use the pool. The Royal Hawaiian Band comes and plays, and it's a great time. There's barbecue going on the side somewhere off the camera. But part of the water exercise is great for seniors. This is done at this pool. It's also done a lot at Waipahu Pool and most of our other pools. Water is a great activity for seniors because of the low impact it does, the less resistance, and allows them to work out. Those little floaties allow them to swim across the pond without worrying about going down.
Right. Okay. Here's the next one.
We offer the city, the other part of our senior clubs and part of our exercise program is bowling. Bowling is a great exercise for seniors. It gets them out of their house. They meet a whole bunch of different types of people. And they go to an alley and they maintain competitiveness.
There's balance and there's weightlifting.
Yes, there is. Those balls are not light. And they have to throw them down a lane, which means their arms have got to be in shape.
That's right.
Also, at the end of the bowling, they have to be standing up.
That's right.
And so they work their legs. So this looks like a very leisure activity. I know a lot of people tease bowlers. Are they really athletic? But for the seniors, this is a great workout activity.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
this particular one, we do, this looks like you might be over at Hickam, not sure. But yeah, it's a great activity for our bowlers to get into. And once a year, we actually have a fun bowling day where we bowl for no competition, but just crazy prizes.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, the next one here.
Okay, part of our clubs and part of the being with the clubs and getting into exercise is socialization. One of the major problems for our seniors is they'll stay at home too often. They won't come out. So what we offer is various programs so they can come out and do arts and crafts at our centers. They're making cards. These might have been these are the cards we made to send off to some of our troops when they're stationed in Afghanistan and Iraq during the wars over there. The seniors get together. We have the instructors come in, supplies are brought in, and they get to make arts and crafts. Now, arts and crafts sometimes involves cutting paper, sometimes it's making crochet, sometimes it's sewing flowers. Arts and crafts is also ceramics, which we have a lot of programs in, as well as our painters, who we have across our different rec centers. So there's various types of crafts they can do. But the value of this is just to get together for socialization.
Okay. Let's see the next one here. Oh, we got some sports activities.
Okay, we want to let the men know that it's not all about being women in our clubs.
Uh-huh.
The Kapi'olani Softball League has been around for a long time. We offer the state tournament to participate in as well as our island tournaments here. And these gentlemen and ladies, there's ladies allowed to play as well, get out there and they play some very serious softball. They'll compete hard, they'll play hard, and at the end, they'll socialize hard. It's a great way for them to all get out. They meet each other, and if these teams might not all be from Oahu either. We're bringing teams from neighbor islands. So
Okay.
these groups get together from the Oahu Bowlers as well as neighbor island teams, and they all get to socialize with each other.
Okay. And then what do we have next?
Oh, we want to show you that they're playing hard. They don't just tap a ball. As you can see, the full swing takes you around, and the facility they're at is the Patsy T. Mink Park over at Central Oahu. So they use the same softball fields as some of our college softball teams, the HPUs and things. They will compete hard, and they, as I said, they play on the regulation diamonds.
Okay. I think this is our last one, huh?
Okay, we want to let you know that, when you come to join our clubs, we want you to take a swing at it. Don't just stay at home. Come and join our groups. We do offer golfing for those of you interested in golf.
Yeah.
Get out of the house. A lot of times these men will go golfing on their own. They'll be by themselves. What we tell them is, instead of just staying with your 4, how about come and meet the other 30? And then go out and meet other golfers as well. But it's more just to get out and take a chance. So our senior clubs offer them a chance to have socialization. There's a chance for recreation and a chance to go ahead and compete, and of course to meet other people.
Yeah. And I like also the point of giving back to the community too at the beginning that you had. So those are all good points.
With our senior clubs, and we get together, we've had storytellers come in and sit down with some of our seniors to find out what was their life like. And the seniors don't realize all that they have to give back. In lay making, yes, but also just telling where they've been, what they've done. So yeah, the seniors are a great resource. It's not so much, it's not so much just getting a play out there, but it's locking it in to see what they want to do.
Okay.
Seems like there's, kind of something for everyone. In the pictures that you showed, there were a lot of exercise things which we like to promote because we like people to stay well. But there were a lot, you could do Tai Chi, which is kind of
Yes.
slow and easier, and then you can do all the way up to the almost look like professional softball there. They look pretty serious about
They're
that.
very serious about their game.
Yeah. So I guess what I see is that it has sort of an underlying value also, in that you get together with people, you get to exercise, and really what we're trying to do is promote people staying well and active as long as possible.
Absolutely, yes.
Right. And then giving back, I saw that. That was that's something that Colin mentioned too. The travel, that sounded kind of fun.
Seniors love to travel. We've actually taken seniors for 2 nights over in Waikiki. In the past, we've gone as far as taking bowlers out to Las Vegas. We've taken senior clubs to neighbor islands. We're now trying to review that and see if we can get that going again. One of the main reasons is a lot of the seniors love to travel. And travel, they like to travel with their friends.
Right.
Groups, going with your son and daughter is great. With the grandkids is wonderful. But sometimes you just want to hang out with your people. And so that's why we like to encourage seniors to get out. It stimulates their brain. They got to think, shows them new things. And that's why we think travel is important. And a lot of seniors tell me they don't travel because of wheelchairs. They're afraid, they can't walk, they can't keep up. And so we tell them, why? Get in a wheelchair. Wheelchair won't hamper you. It'll actually increase your mobility. My father refused to ride a wheelchair until one day we told him, you have to ride with us to stay with us. You have to ride. And my niece solved the problem by being all 3 years old and jumping on Grandpa's lap and saying, I'm riding with Grandpa. So, don't look at any liability to travel. Find ways to make it happen.
Good point, good point.
Yeah.
So as far as clubs are concerned, can anybody join? Is it exclusive? What do you say to that?
The only requirement is you be on the island of Oahu and make it to the meetings. We actually have people who fly in during the winter from the mainland, from the East Coast, to join our clubs. We have people driving across the island to go to various clubs. As long as it is a city and county club, anyone on this island can join. One of their requirements is you must be 55 years old. Yeah. So you're 55, you come on in and join. If you have a disability, we work with it. We find ways to include you in the group. Everyone has a limit to what they can do, but it's no limit to what you want to do. So we try to find that. We make sure you get what you want.
How about the cost? Does it cost something?
Each club has its own dues. It may range from as high as $10 a year to as low as $5 a year.
Wow, what a range, huh?
So, you know, they join the club for those rates, and then, of course, let's say your club is going over to have lunch at one of the fancy restaurants. That is a cost that you would pick up,
Okay.
you know, on your own. The club does fundraisers, such as our Mayor's Craft and Country Fair, that was created specifically for our senior clubs, so
Oh,
they
I
can
see.
raise money to offset the costs. But mostly it's free. You just join the clubs, and you pick up costs for things that you'd like to do. And again, things like lunches or things like that, primarily. But no, the dues, $10 a year.
Wow.
That's very affordable,
Yeah,
huh?
pretty good
Yes.
deal.
Can't get more affordable than that.
We try to make sure everyone can get involved.
Yes, yes. So now, we've got clubs all over all over the island. How many are we talking about?
Well, we have, as I said, about 38 clubs. We're all along the North Shore, stretching from the Pali area, cross over the mountain, all through Kaneohe. We then come back to Hawai'i Kai. If you cross over to that side, Waimanalo has a club. Come back through Hawai'i Kai. We have clubs all the way in through downtown. We'll stretch all the way from there out to Waianae. And if you backtrack, you can go over to Wahiawa or all the way down through Wailua, and we have more clubs lining up in that direction.
How do I find out where these clubs are, and do I call Steven Santiago? Or?
The best way would actually be to call me. The reason is if you call me at my number at Makuli Center, I will then find out where you live and find out some of your interests, and we can direct you to the right club. Of course, if you have computer access, you can always go to the City and County of Honolulu website, and you can look up senior activities and senior clubs and find which one's in your area.
I see. Can you give us your phone number?
Sure. To get a hold of me, it's Steven Santiago, 973-7258. So again, it's
Can you say that again? Yeah.
973-7258. So give us a call, look us up in the phone book. We're listed under senior activities for in the City and County of Honolulu. Or just go to your local rec center and tell them you want to know about senior clubs.
Oh, okay. Wow, this is a great hidden resource that, you know, is a hidden treasure in many respects.
Well, we hate to be hidden, but people are still finding us. Yeah, we'd love to be out there. In fact, we'd love to increase our clubs as long as people show an awareness of what they want to do. And we have a bunch of people who say this is an activity they'd like to participate in. We're willing to open clubs.
You know, I
Get people
remember I was over, well, this is over at a senior center, you know, over at Lanakila Senior Center on Lanakila Avenue. And talking to the director there, they had kept records with regards to their participants that were coming regularly to exercise and participate. And they found that people that were coming regularly would stay there right up until the time when they died, practically. In a sense, what had happened was they've seen so many people that did not need long-term caring.
That is
you know?
correct.
So there's no lingering of that disability. You know, you're living independently right up until your natural lifespan, and then you pass away. But that's in a sense what we want in many respects. I think even for ourselves, not having to go to an institutional facility.
Yeah, so your whole body is a big muscle.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the better it'll work and the longer it'll work. So once you decide to stop using every part of your body, whether it's your brain, your arms, your hands, your legs, it'll stop working. And that's why we encourage them to get up, get out of the house, and join our centers. We'll find something that you'd be interested in.
Well, if I'm by myself and I don't have anybody to go with me to the club, am I going to feel comfortable? Am I going to be accepted, do you think?
All the clubs are looking for members. I can guarantee you, any club you walk in, they'd love to have members join them. They're looking for membership. The bigger the club gets, the more things they can do. You know, to charter a bus, it's 48 people. You'd love to fill it with all 48 people and head out to go to your places. Some of the luncheons we have require over 300 people. So 5 and 6 clubs get together, and they'll get together and have these big luncheons. And as far as being accepted, as long as you walk in with a great attitude and want to be a part of it, they're going to accept you. And we've never really had a problem with people telling us they didn't find the club that they needed or they wanted. But some of the things that happen is, let's say you go to a club, but you don't want to be in a club setting. Let's say you want to take a specific type of activity. That's also available. Yeah, that's why you mentioned people going to Lanakila. We've had people come to my center for painting. and they'll be there at 9 o'clock, and they'll leave at 3:30. So they'll be there all day, just for their one special activity that they like to do. So don't be turned off by being by yourself coming to a club. Come in, see what the club offers, look at all the classes, and again, pick what you want.
Okay. So Stephen, I think we're just about out of time right now, but I thought you could provide our viewers who've gotten so much information from you one last tip. So if if you had to leave the viewers out there with one last suggestion, what would that be?
My last suggestion would be get up and get out. As we mentioned earlier, it's better than medicine. Sunshine is also medicine. Go out and get some.
Yes. Good point, good point. So thank you very much, Stephen Santiago from the City and County of Honolulu's Parks and Recreation Department. You're doing a great job for all our kupunas out there.
Thank you. The city's trying its best to meet all of our needs.
Yes, thank you so much. So this is all the time that we have right now. So thank you, all of you viewers, for watching this program about senior clubs and the good that this can do by remaining active and engaged in our community. Hope to see you again next week. Thank you. Aloha.